G'day, welcome to Easy Jeezy, Map and Made Breezy. Okay, now I've got to rush out in a second to buy some chickens, but before I need to duck out, I'll go through this guide with you guys, and this time we're going to look at making charts, making graphs in ArcGIS Pro. Okay, so obviously you can make the graphs and everything in another piece of software like Excel, but ArcGIS Pro is actually pretty powerful, and the fact that your data is already here can in fact make it quite easy to do it. So let's get started. What I'm going to do, we're starting off with the data that we had from a previous guide. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a new layer based on this same layer here. Okay, so all you can do here, you can just right click on cars versus social class and say copy, and then if you just do Control V, okay, it'll duplicate that layer. You can also click on it, holding Control, and then drag it, and it will duplicate that layer. Anyway, let's take that one off. And this one, let's do cars versus social class. I'm going to click on, right click on it and go symbology. And I'm going to change it to not bivariate. Let's make it a bit simpler. Let's do graduated colors. And I'm going to do it on building height. Okay, and like before, I'm going to change colors here. Let's do light to dark. Okay, and I'm going to go over here more format all symbols. And let's make them a bit bigger. Okay, so 12, so we can see them. So building height, darker meaning taller buildings, lighter meaning lower buildings. Okay, so I've got that extra layer in there. I've hidden the cars versus social class. Okay, now I want to make a chart. So let's right click on this one. And actually, I better rename that. I'm just going to call it building height. Okay, and this we can say. I'm going to right click on that now, and I'm going to go create chart. In this case, let's go for a scatter plot. Okay, and it's a pretty handy type of chart to have. Okay, and what happens? You get this chart building window here, this pane appear, and again you can click it, drag it, and make it float, etc. Just as you can with the attribute table. What you also get on the right-hand side, you get the chart properties. So let's start with our x-axis. Now on this one, we don't need to look at building height. We've started with that layer. We don't have to use building height. You can use any of the fields, any of the numerical fields you have here. So let's go on the x-axis, let's go distance to ocean. So in this case, it's distance from the beach, the main beach, okay? And it's in meters. For our y-axis, let's look at, let's say, noise value. Okay, let's say noise value. So we're seeing does noise increase with distance to the ocean? Okay, and once you've got those two in, you can see that it appears right away here. Okay, so you've got distance to the ocean down the bottom, and you've got max noise level on the y-axis there, and then you've got all the points where they fit in. You can see the sort of trend line. You've got the linear trend. You can take that off or put that on as well. The R value. The symbol, what you can actually do is, well, first of all, it's using the layer colors. So it's using the colors according to what we changed into. In this case, it was building height. So here you can actually see distance to ocean and max noise level. But you're also plotting building height at the same time. So that could be interesting to bring into your analysis. If you want as well the size of the symbol, you can make it a bit bigger if you want. Maybe want those colors to stand out. You can also make the size proportional according to another field. So if you have a drop down, maybe you want it to be, let's say, social class, overall social class. Okay, and again, you've got the min and the max size there, so we can make those. Let's not make it too small, I guess. 5, and then let's bring down this one to say 20. So here you can see the smaller the circle, the lower the social class. The higher the circle, the higher the social class. Sorry, the bigger the circle, the higher the social class. Okay, so you're getting quite a lot of information on this chart. And again, you've got to be careful. Maybe too much information can get too confusing. But still, in the right circumstances, it could be very, very powerful. Okay. If you move along, you can see the bounds. You can change the minimum and max for the X and Y axes. Okay, where they begin. Usually, the default does a pretty good job with that, though. You can add some guides in, which just which let you sort of. I mean, I'll show you what they let you do. 50. Okay, and you get this sort of guide over here, and it might be a particular, I don't know, up to the boardwalk or something like that. And it'll fit in over here. Obviously, in this case, it's not so good. Let's say 100 to 500. Okay, and it might be something like that. Just in the background, it gives you that sort of information, but let's not do one of those just yet. Format, you've got some of the themes you can add to it, some of the background colors, etc. But the most important one at the moment is probably general. So you've got a chart title, and we can just say, let's take out the underscores, distance to ocean, say meters m versus with that, x-axis title, okay, yep, distance to ocean, meters, and then we've got max noise level. Well, let's just copy it from up here actually. You can add something in for the legend if you like as well. You can add extra thing in there, but generally it should be pretty self-explanatory with your axis titles. Okay, now what we can do here, we can export that. Okay, so you've got it right there. You click on export and you can save that as a JPEG, for example. Okay, so down here and we just say, what is it? Distance, ocean, max noise chart. Okay, .jpg. Oops. Save. Okay, so it's going to save that. Okay, so it's saved the copy for us. What you can also do with this is let's close it because it is actually saved down here. If you double click over here, you can see chart, and it's just going to bring it back up. Okay, in our layout, so our layout from our previous guide, if we click here, we can also insert a chart. Okay, so click on insert, you've got chart frame. In this case, there's only one. So you can actually draw that in here. And now in this case, this map is showing something a bit different. It's not showing. Oh no, it is showing max noise level, isn't it? No. So this works, but obviously it's a bit squashed here, and you're getting a lot of overplotting. So you might need to jiggle some of these things around. So let's move this over here. Let's go back to activate. So layout activate. Let's maybe zoom out a little bit. Move this over here just for now. Close activation. So you can sort of fit this in. You can obviously play around with it as you see fit. And there you go. Oops. So there we go. There's our other map. Oops. With our chart already in the map. But obviously you might just want to export it as a JPEG and use it separately in your project. Okay. And remember, you don't just have scatter plots. You've got lots. You've got bars, lines, scatter plot matrix, histograms, box plots, etc. So you've got a lot of options there. But scatter plot with things like distance to ocean, stuff like that, or distance to mountains, or distance to bodies of water, works pretty well as a scatter plot. But as you can see, you can also add in those other variables to be displayed on the chart as well. Okay, so overall, a very powerful tool. And again, like before, you can just click on share, and layout, export to save as a new JPEG, okay, wherever you want. And there you go. I hope that helps. I'll see you next time. Ciao.